Good morning everyone. Magandang umaga po. Ako po si Doc Nick Sanchez at meron po akong panaliksik tungkol sa journey of the Filipino senior citizen in the new normal funded by the Australian Research Grant. Nandito po kasama natin ang National President of the uh, Association of Local Social Workers and Development Officers of the Philippines. Isa po siyang advocate for uh, successful aging at practicing social worker at the community level. Ma'am Annie, Ate Annie, good morning. Briefly introduce yourself.
Okay po, para po sa kabatiran ng lahat, I am Annibel Arlen Cayabat, of course, a social worker by profession, and I've been in this field in the past 30 years. And I was once a DSWD personnel, and in, in the implementation of the local government code, I was devolved to the local government unit of Buena Vista, Quezon. I considered myself as a direct social work generalist practitioner, working for the welfare and development of communities, of families, of women, children and youth, persons with disabilities, and of course, my favorite, the senior citizens. Although I am more into supervision side. As part of my interest in working for the welfare and the well-being of senior citizens or our elderlies, um, I focused, one of my priorities is focusing on the Office of the Senior Citizens Affairs as their consultant and also supervise in the implementation of specific programs and services for the welfare of senior citizens. I also work as a part-time academician at Sacred Heart College, Lucena City College of Social Work since 2006. So it's fairly 15 years na po. And as what Doc Nico has mentioned, I'm the current national president of the Association of Local Social Welfare and Development Officers of the Philippines. And that's me.
Yes. Ano po yung new normal para sa'yo?
What is new normal for me, Doc Nico? Parang getting into a situation that is unusual for us, na we have to embrace, we need to take what is at the current. Kasi parang we could not do anything about it. Parang we could not get away from it because this is the normal situation. This is the new normal one. So we have to adapt and we have to go along whatever the policies of our government. Parang just been making life easier and in a normal way, in an unusual normal situation.
Yes.
So that's my perception about new normal.
Yes. You mentioned po, you've been working with yung senior citizen natin and as a community level for how many years?
Yeah.
So more than 15 years. Or 30 years, sorry. Ano po kaya yung mga challenges nila during the new normal na na-observe niyo?
Challenges. Actually, when it comes to senior citizens, we know the fact that the lockdown and the subsequent restrictions that was put into place in order to fight COVID-19 pandemic, and basically it increased the vulnerability of our elderlies. And we could see in the local media, the regular reports that Filipino elderly suffering from lack of food, medicines, and the 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 stress of being remained indoors. So yun ang isa sa mga challenges ng mga senior citizens ngayon. And because of the government imposed the enhanced community quarantine, under which people are prohibited from leaving from their houses. Of course, except for the frontliners and other essential personnel. Kaya senior citizens who still working, most of them belong to informal sectors and they have been deprived in their main source of livelihood, and they are left with a very little choice but to rely on the local government food packages and other incentives like um, the social amelioration program, the stipend and social pension, and other local government initiated assistance for them. So another din sigurong nakikita din namin sa local government units na mga challenges is the challenge on the health conditions of our elderlies. Kasi 'di ba bago ang we could not deny the fact na this is part of the new normal, bahagi na rin yung uh, um, sabihin na lang natin na apektuhan ang economic, social, and even psychological aspect of our people, specifically the senior citizens. So, marami silang mga isipin. Kaya,
Yes po.
marami sila na nagti-trigger ng kanilang mga medyo na-weekend ang kanilang health condition. So far, yun ang prominent na mga challenges na nakikita namin at the local government level.
Yes, in your expert analysis, sa inyong pong analysis bilang social worker at the community level, paano po nag-cope up yung mga senior citizen natin sa Quezon during this lockdown? At paano nakatulong yung kanilang pamilya sa kanila?
Okay. So, ang ano talaga, Doc Nico, malaking factor ang family. Malaking factor yung support ng pamilya sa kanila. Kasi, respect for our elders is basically traditional in the Philippines. And the idea that caring the older people is the responsibility of the children. It's rooted firmly as in the Filipino society. And for that reason, older people usually live with their children within the family. And many Filipinos kasi traditionally live in a multi-generational household, which emphasize that the idea that aging is in place. Many Filipino elders living directly in the same home as their children as they raise their own family. And it is just also common that grandparents also help in raising their grandchildren. And that's the good thing that Filipino family, diba, we are described as one of the unique and most able social system of caring from birth to end of life of every family members. So talagang sa family sila mostly and definitely humuhugot ng lakas and inspiration in these trying times for us.
Yes. Napakaganda po ng sinabi ng aging in place. Ano po yung words of wisdom niyo para sa ating mga senior citizen at kanilang pamilya sa sinasabi niyong aging in place?
Okay po. So, ito po ang mensahe ko sa mga minamahal nating mga nakakatanda at ang kanilang mga pamilya. So at the moment po, we are really experiencing a very challenging situation. COVID-19 pandemic is nandyan at hindi pa po ito natin malaman kung kailan mag-end. At dama po natin na ang epekto nito, it affects totally our lives, socially, psychologically, and even economically. So we have to follow the imposed quarantine protocols to minimize the spread of virus. And the fact that you senior citizens are very vulnerable. So natin dito na you might catch the virus. So we have to take care of you. At dama din po namin mga minamahal naming senior citizens ang inyong mga kalalagayan sa ngayon. At bahagi sa tinatawag nating new normal condition, ang pagtanggap sa ating kasalukuyang sitwasyon. So upang mabawasan ang pagkainip, subukan nating yakapin ang katotohanan at gawin na ang mga bagay na nakakabawas sa ating mga isipin at magdudulot ng stress or worst is magkakapagbuo ng depression sa atin. Kaya kung kaya nating kumilos para sa mga gawaing bahay, kung kakayanin, of course, ng ating mga pangangatawan. So, gawin po natin para tayo malibang. Wari ko po naman ay ito ang pagkakataon para madalas nating makakausap ang ating mga anak, ating mga apo sa loob ng pamamahay natin kasi batid naman po natin talaga na halos nilalamon na tayo sa impluensya ng internet. So ito ang pagkakataon na mag-uusap tayo face-to-face, physical. At napakasaya po siguro kung tayo sabay manood ng mga ating mga favorite na telenovela sa telebisyon. At maging bahagi tayo sa pag-asikaso ng ating mga apo. At meron po tayo ngayong kasabihan na isa sa mga stress reliever ng mga Pilipino ay ang pagiging plantita at plantito. So siguro po ay hindi masama at napakagandang pagkakataon na maging lolo plantito at lola plantita tayo. At syempre po, kailangan po tayong matulog sa tamang oras, kakain po tayo ng masustansyang pagkain, at gawin po natin masaya at produktibo at kapakipangkinabang ang ating mga sarili kahit sa panahong ito. At para naman po sa mga pamilya ng ating mga nakakatanda, but hindi naman po ata siguro hindi naman po siguro ligid sa ating kalaman ang mga pangangailangan ng ating mga nakakatandang miyembro ng pamilya. At saka hindi naman po siguro kalabisan na bigyan din natin sila ng panahon at pag-unawa. Ipadama natin sa kanila na mahal natin sila at nais natin silang alagaan at protektahan. Panatilihin natin ang kagawian bilang mga Pilipino, ang labis na pagmamahal sa ating pamilya, lalo't higit sa mga nakakatandang miyembro nito. Siguro sa panahon ng pandemya, kayang-kaya nating tumawid tungo sa kaaya-ayang pamumuhay muli na ating nakasanayan. At sa ating pagkakaisa at tulong-tulong at siyempre paggabay ng ating Panginoon, makakaraos din tayo.
Yes, Ate Annie. Last question pa, ano po yung message natin to our fellow social workers working with sa ating mga nakatatanda at ano pa yung gaps na maaaring matugunan natin regarding sa pagsisilbi sa kanila?
Okay. Sa kapwa kong manggagawang panlipunan, lalo tigit sa mga local social welfare and development officers, sa kanilang mga local government units. Alam po ninyo, mga kapatid, alam natin na dito sa panahong ito, dito nasusubukan ang pagiging multitasking natin, yung versatility natin. So, nagkapatong-patong na ang ating mga gagawin. So, ako po ay nakikiusap at nagmumungkahi sa inyo na sana we should not left behind the sector of our society that really needs us most, the senior citizen sector, ang ating mga elderly. Alam ko rin po na merong mga na open menu na mga programs and services for them, not only from the national government, but in our own local government units. We have ready programs and services for them. And I guess it's high time for us to innovate more, to look into what are their needs. And maybe we could give them more intervention to help them out based on their, where they are. I think we should make use of how the social worker way. We have to start where the client is. So we have to dig down deeper. What are the other needs of our senior citizens, and then have a ready, possible, and appropriate assistance for them. Not just relying on what are at hand na available for them.
That, maraming salamat po, Ma'am Annie Orlan. Stay safe and thank you and God bless po.